Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming on the bright lights.
Runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
This is the greatest show.
That's right. This is the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast, episode number 538, recorded from the D. Fauntleroy Studios in Kent County, Rhode Island, and sunny Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Gary, joined as always by my co-host and my cousin, Mike, down in Florida. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
What's new in your neck of the woods?
Not much.
No. I'm back from reality.
Busy week. You're
to
back.
reality. Yeah.
You're back. You're depressed that you don't have in 253 days. We can't wait to welcome you home. It's depressing, isn't it?
It is. I got to wait another few weeks before I can book my
I'm going to
trip.
do something at the 11 month and then
Yeah.
try to modify.
That's the plan. Maybe I'll have another contract by then. Who knows?
You know what was said to me?
What's that part?
Me and Mr. Casciano were walking off the driving range this morning or Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And our third was just going to go hit some balls. Gary Cole. You know Gary, right?
Yeah.
You're good buddies with him.
Yeah, we're friends.
So he said, did you guys watch the debate? And I'm like, he's not going to start getting political, is he? I'm like, yeah, I watched it. And Kurt's like, yeah. He goes, but he said it just never ended. He goes, I'm watching it in bed and I got to go to bed because I got to get up for work the next day. And it's just going on. Gary Cole goes, finally, somebody who talks more than Mike. I was like, damn. He's saying he went on for 90 minutes and he talks.
Oh,
he talks
not
more
the
than
debate.
Me.
You're talking about the.
I'm sorry, the convention. Yeah, I said the debate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was confused. I'm like, why is he bringing this up?
Somebody who talks more than Mike.
You think you could go for 96 minutes like that in front of 80,000 people or whatever?
No, I'd have a panic attack, wouldn't you?
I don't know if I'd have a panic attack, but that's crazy how much he talked.
You just run out of nonsense to say. It's just.
There was a lot going on in that. I didn't watch any of it.
I don't
watch it.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't watch. I just don't follow politics like I used to. I've graduated parts. We're all about DVC now.
That's right. That's all that matters.
We no longer have to fight those battles, right?
Now, would you vote for someone if you thought it would bring like the resale prices down?
No, I'm on the opposite side. I like a good, strong resale market.
I kind of agree because that means like other things are pretty bad if the resale market's down.
Yeah, no, I like a good, strong resale market.
That's good to know.
Angry Newfield Jr., though, he hates Fort Wilderness.
He's not a big fan of that.
That place is just destroying resale contracts, as evidenced by the Polynesian resale.
Yeah, right. Well, we got a lot to get to today.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
So, while it's fresh in my mind and fresh on your mind, we wanted to talk about not my trip review. Not yet. No. That's going to be like a 9-part series probably.
And this was a DVC stay too.
Oh, so it could be both.
It's going over to the other channel.
Oh, okay. But we're going to talk about the Disney dining plan return on investment. So we both used the Disney dining plan.
Oh yeah, we had I never buy that for my 2-day trips. And well, to be quite honest, it wasn't available for the longest time.
Yeah, for 4 years, 5 years, whatever it was. So it finally came back this year. I ran some preliminary numbers, thought I could get some value out of it based on where we wanted to eat and what we were planning on doing. on this trip, and now we're going to see if I made a wise decision in getting the Disney dining plan. So I was there for 9 nights, and the Disney dining plan for 2 adults and 2 kids under 9, or 9 and under, I should say, was $22.31 and 46 cents. So $2,231.46. That's what I paid up front to get 2 quick serve, 2 table serve. One table serve, 1 quick serve, 2 snacks per night per person. So it ended up being 2 adults, 2 kids per night. So the adult dining plan was $94.28 per night, and the kids was $29.69 for one table serve, 1 quick serve, 1 snack, and a mug, good for length of stay. We had a split stay, so we got double the mugs. I counted that into the calculation, but as you'll see, we can remove that at the end, because obviously I wouldn't have bought 2 mugs regardless.
Understood.
So that's not really a fair comparison. And probably, to be honest, we probably wouldn't have gotten 4 mugs if I was paying out of pocket, maybe 2 to share amongst the 4 of us.
Yep.
But regardless, we'll get to that. We'll break that down a little bit. So, and you did it. You did the same thing for 2 nights, correct?
I
So
did. Yep, we did it for 2 nights.
Like $400, a little less than $400.
Yeah, it was $377 and 14 cents.
Okay, and that's for 2. Between the 2 of you, because you had 2 adults. So 2 adults. So you got 1 quick serve, 1 table, and you were going to eat with us a couple nights, and the places we were going ended up making sense for you as far as the table serve credits, or we'll see. And then you had some quick serves, some snacks to use. So I guess we should get right into it. Do you want me to go day by day and tell you the breakdown?
Yeah.
All right. So our arrival day, July 10th, we got into Wilderness Lodge. We got there pretty early. We went and got our mugs, and
you go get those right at Roaring Forks, correct?
Yep, we went down to Roaring Fork. We got our mugs, and we hadn't really eaten anything
because you had that early flight out of Providence.
Yeah, it was 5:20 a.m. So we landed before 8 a.m. at MCO.
Theodore Francis Green.
Well, no, we were in MCO before 8
correct,
a.m.
right. You're talking about landing.
And we made a stop at Publix on the way for some waters and some snacks and some beers. And then we got to property like around 9:30.
Okay.
Got all our stuff checked in with Bell Services, and then we went down to the quick serve to get our mugs. We had some drinks.
Was it banging at that time, Pards? Or
no, it wasn't bad. It was actually not too busy in the quick serve. 9:30, 9:45, whatever it was. After we talked to the front desk.
Okay.
So we got our mugs, and we were a little hungry, so we ended up getting using a snack credit on a giant bear claw that they have there.
Yeah, Tommy Morrow loves those things.
So I liked it. It was $10 and 49 cents before tax. So that's actually one of the best uses of a snack credit.
What was the price again? 10 change?
Yeah, I added tax in, so it ended up being $11.11 after tax for that. So that one was a good use of a snack credit. The mugs came out to $95 after tax for the 4 mugs. So that first trip was over $100 right out of the gate. At that point early on, which in hindsight I probably wouldn't have done this, they got a couple of cheaper snacks, and I paid out of pocket for those because they were like $4, and I didn't think it was a good use of a snack credit.
Oh God, you were that guy, weren't you?
I was thinking I was getting
that guy.
Too in the weeds. I said, let's not use our snack credits too early, and then that ended up coming back to bite us a little bit at the end because we had a lot of snacks at the back end of the trip that we were using. But we ended up using them all. We used all 36 snacks. So 9 times 4 is 36, 9 nights. So our first
figure that out.
Good job, Pards.
Yeah.
We ended up having our snacks around whatever 10 o'clock, and then we were walking around the resort. We got our text early that our room was ready, so we went and got into our swimsuits, and we went down to the pool. We were hanging out by the pool. Ended up being like 12:30. I was starting to get a little hungry, so I asked Sarah if she wanted to split quick serve lunch. So we ended up getting the wilderness salad from Roaring
This is
Fork.
going to have some types of cranberries in it, isn't it?
It's
going to be stuff that doesn't go with stuff. No,
it had
Hate to put
chicken.
you on the spot, but
It had spinach. I think it had like glazed walnuts, apples. It was good. And then I got a beer, which was $10.50. So that ended up being $24.07 for that one quick serve. And the girls had some of it with us, so we all kind of just shared it. And then for dinner, we went to 1900 Park Fair. So we're not going to get into
I know
dining
I'm
reviews too much.
I know I'm itching right now, Pods. I'm itching.
1900 Park Fair, which for the kids was $41 before tax. The adults, after the cocktails, mine was 72 and Sarah's was 73 because we got 2 cocktails there. So the total for dinner after tax was $245.16. So my total investment for day one was $247.94. So that's what it cost each day for the dining plan. $247.94. I would have spent out of pocket $375.34 on day one. So I'm already $130 in the good here after day one. So I'm doing pretty good. Should we move on to day 2?
Yeah.
All right, day 2, we have a Tusker House breakfast at Animal Kingdom. That ends up being $63 per adult because of the cocktails, and $30 per kid.
Okay.
So that one was $220.93 after tax.
Oh, Pards.
For breakfast.
Why do we even need to go any further?
You see where this is going?
We need to go any further?
That day we hung out at Animal Kingdom in the morning a little bit, and then we ended up doing more pool time in the afternoon, and that was the night I snagged one of those cabanas.
Yeah.
Down at the quiet pool.
Beautiful.
So we ended up doing Roaring Fork for dinner, and that ended up being for 2 adults and 2 kids, $71.77. I got like the burnt end brisket.
Sure.
Sarah got a pulled pork sandwich. The girls got cheeseburgers. A couple beers with that, $71.77. At Animal Kingdom, we had 3 snacks that day. We had Mickey ice cream bar, some chicken dumplings, and a giant ice cream cookie sandwich. Those were the snacks that we did. Those snacks came out to $23.29 for the 3 of them. So on day 2, using 2 table serve for adults, 2 table serves for kids, 2 quick serve adult, 2 quick serve kids, and 3 snacks. It was $315.99. So it would have been $247.94. So we spent $315.99 if we paid out of pocket. Day 3, we had Storybook Dining, which was a 2 credit. So I decided to pay out of pocket.
Oh,
so we'll talk about that. The reason being, quickly, I didn't check before, but the adult price for Storybook for 2 credits was only like $65.
yeah.
And some of
We
the other
initially
ones,
thought you were going to pay out of pocket for that.
you didn't know that? I thought I
I didn't think you were going to burn 2 credits on that.
I didn't. I paid out of pocket for that. That's why, because it didn't make sense. So I paid out of pocket for Storybook. So I'm not going to take that into the calculations. Just want to let that be known. We ended up having lunch.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said that you ended up using the 2 credits.
No, we saved the 2. We didn't use the 2 credits. We ended up having lunch at Hollywood Studios. So that morning we slept in a little bit, went over to Hollywood Studios. I think it was like 10:30 by the time we got there. We walked around a little bit, did a couple shows and rides. We had some snacks, frozen strawberry lemonades from ABC Commissary. And then we went to Docking Bay 7 in Star Wars Land for quick serve. I had this beef. It was like a braised beef with potatoes. It was really good. Sarah had some ribs that she liked, and the girls got these like fried chicken balls. I forget what they call them. So that quick serve, a couple cocktails there as well. Specialty cocktails, those were like $16 a piece. So for the 4 quick serves at Docking Bay 7, out of pocket would have cost $93.91. And the snacks came out to about $20. We also had a chocolate shake later in the day that we shared. So $20.27 for 3 snacks. So we didn't use any table serves that day. We did 2 adult quick serve, 2 kids quick serve, and 3 snacks. $114.18 would have been my out-of-pocket cost that day.
Okay.
So I'm a little behind on that one. $130 behind or so. Next day, we're going to Steakhouse 71 for dinner. So we start the day at Magic Kingdom, and we get some at Sleepy Hollow. We get some waffles with the fruits and the bananas on them.
Yeah.
The one has fruit with the whipped cream. The other one has Nutella and banana. So we got 2 of those. Sarah ended up getting a Dole Whip with pineapple upside down cake. So those are kind of like breakfasty stuff that we had there. We ended up using 3 snacks. We went. It was a little later by the time we left Magic Kingdom. There was nothing that we really wanted to eat there, so we ended up having our quick serve. I did mobile order on the ferry back to Wilderness Lodge, and we ended up getting Roaring Fork quick serve. But Sarah and I split one. We split a cheeseburger because it was like 2:30, and we had like a 6 o'clock reservation, so we didn't want to eat too much lunch. And the girls each got chicken fingers there for their meal. So we used 1 adult and 2 kid quick serve at Roaring Fork, which came out to $44.78. The snacks came out to $25.88, and our Steakhouse 71 dinner, surprisingly lower price, came out to $159.84 after tax. That's
For the 4 of you.
That's entree,
Wow.
cocktail, and dessert for Sarah and I, and then the girls' kids' meals were $15.50 a piece. So my whole entree was like $36. I got the cake, which was like $13, so now I'm at $49. Then I got like a $15 cocktail, so it was only $66 for my my meal. Sarah got the vegetable Wellington, which she really liked, and that was only $51 with the dessert and the drink. So it was $160 for Steakhouse 71. Not bad, and it was very good.
I mean, we're talking steakhouse on Disney property. That's great.
Yeah. So that day would have cost us $230.50 out of pocket, and we would have came out a little behind that day on the dining plan. But we're also not using all 4 snacks on most of these days. Or I've forgotten some, as you'll find out at the end. I had 8 snacks unaccounted for that I used. I just couldn't remember exactly what we used them on.
That's fine.
Next day, Sunday, this was our checkout/check-in day.
Okay.
So we leave Wilderness Lodge. We
Mhm.
take a minivan over to Beach Club and get situated there. We end up going into Epcot and having lunch at San Angel Quick Serve, La Cantina de San Angel.
La
in
Cantina.
Mexico.
Oh, parts. We're going to hear a little bit more about that in a few minutes.
That quick serve, between the 2 margaritas, the 2 adult entrees, and the 2 kid entrees, was $98.24. That's an expensive lunch if you're paying out of pocket for quick serve.
Sure is.
In fairness, probably would have had more than enough, wouldn't have gotten 2 cocktails, and probably could have split entrees there easily because they were huge.
Yeah.
Also very good. So $98.24. We had a couple snacks in Germany. We did the caramels. The girls each got one, so we used 3 snacks in Germany. Came out to $17.07.
Sure.
And then we got more mugs that day, so that's another $95 add to the tally. Then we went to Garden Grill for dinner, which is $62 per adult. And then we each got we got two $16 cocktails, so $78 per adult, $40 per kid. That dinner at Garden Grill was $254.88 after tax. So between Garden Grill, Sun on Hell, snacks, and the mugs,
Yeah.
my total, if I paid out of pocket, would have been $465.19.
Imagine dropping $460 just on dinners. Just oh my goodness.
So that would have been that's my day 5 total. Moving on, the next day we have a breakfast at Akershus, or I asked the server, the waitress there. I said, "How do you pronounce it?" I want to get the official Norway pronunciation. She said it's like soccer shoes. So you say Akershus.
Soccer shoes?
Yeah, so
Oh, it's
Akershus.
shoes. Not
Akershus.
Akershus. Because you wouldn't say
Akershus.
soccer shoes.
No, it's Akershus.
Okay.
So like
that doesn't sound like shoes, but
take
I digress.
take the S off of soccer, so you say Aker, and
Yep.
then say shoes. So Akershus.
You didn't say shoes the first few times.
Okay.
That's
well,
okay.
Akershus.
That's okay.
So we had breakfast there. So I ended up not getting 2 cocktails at breakfast because I had a Bloody Mary and it was filling.
Bad. That's a bad play.
So I left some money on the table. That being
Yep.
said, my breakfast with the cocktail was $72. Sarah's was $55, and the girls was $35 each. So a grand total for our breakfast was $212.76 if we paid out of pocket. Then we met up with you that day, and we ended up going over to Epcot, and we had dinner at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. We used 2 adult, 2 kids, and I got onion rings as a snack. So I used the snack credit at dinner for extra side of onion rings. Also, at the pool that day, Sarah ended up getting a lunch at Hurricane Hannah's. So she used a quick serve. So we actually used 3 quick serves that day for the adults. So the Hurricane Hannah, she got the seafood roll and she got a cocktail from the bar. So that ended up being $29.47 for that one credit.
Okay.
Our Regal Eagle quick serve dinner would have been $82.03.
Okay.
And this is one of the days where I can't remember all the snacks. I'm sure we had other ones, but I could only remember the onion rings. So that came out to $5.38 for the onion rings. Grand total out of pocket that day would have been $329.94. The next day we have a Roundup Rodeo barbecue reservation. But we spent most of the day at the pool. We were just hanging out at the pool. You came over and hung out with us.
That's
we didn't
right.
do anything until
Yep.
Until nighttime. We met at Toy Story Land at like 5:00. That was the first time we went in the parks that day.
Mhm.
So we ended up having quick serve at Hurricane Hannah's again, but Sarah wasn't feeling that good, so she didn't have anything until dinner. She didn't eat at all until dinner. I got some snacks for breakfast down at the Beach Club Marketplace. Yergina got like a chocolate croissant. I got a cheesecake, a caramel chocolate cheesecake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. We had a couple other things that day. Snacks. We ended up using 4 snacks that day. The Hurricane Hannah's quick serve. I got fish and chips with a beer, and then the girls got a cheeseburger and a turkey sandwich that ended up being $42.47. I also got them a pina colada like smoothie at the pool bar, the non-alcoholic one. So I used a snack for that. And I ended up getting some cotton candy for the girls as we were leaving Hollywood Studios using a snack credit. So 4 snacks that day came out to $23.36.
You got the cotton candy on the way back to the resort?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that a big mistake?
No, they were fine.
Yeah,
that was
they weren't flying off the walls.
no, not too bad. That was one that because we got turned away from Fantasmic, everyone was kind of sad. So I went and got some cotton candy for the walk back.
Oh, that's a good recovery.
Yes,
That's like getting up and down from the
coffin
from like the
bunker.
woods or something.
Yeah.
hit it into the bank, boop, boop, checks up and make the putt. Good play there, Gary Frank.
Thank you, sir. So the Rodeo Roundup Barbecue ended up being $62 and $60 with the cocktails for the adults, and then $25 each for the kids. So that ended up being $185.76. Hurricane Hannah's was $42.47. The snacks were $23.36 for a total of $251.62 for that day. So that's almost like a break-even day. But I only used one adult quick serve. So I'm like short a quick serve and still pretty much breaking even. Next day, we had early Topolino's breakfast, which
You
ended up...
certainly did.
Again, I only got one cocktail because it was a Bloody Mary and it was too filling, and I didn't want to have two. So ended up being $49 for an adult without a cocktail. With the Bloody Mary, it was $65 and $30 each for the kids. $187.92 if I was paying out of pocket. We had a bunch of different snacks that day at Animal Kingdom and going around. So I think we used 5 snacks at least that day. More cotton candy. I had like a Dole Whip sundae in Animal Kingdom. They got some candy at one of the one of the places there. And then at Magic Kingdom at night, we went to the late hours and they had some a churro and a strawberry popsicle at the end of the day. So we used at least 5 snacks that day, and the snacks came out to $34.94. And we had
a lot of snacks right there, isn't it?
That's a lot of snacks, yeah. And we had the Primo Piatto quick serve for dinner because we were on the fence. We didn't know what to do for dinner. I was thinking of going into Epcot really quick and getting something, but we decided just to go over to Primo Piatto. Mobile ordered on the way.
Yep.
And then we took the bus from Riviera to Magic Kingdom at the end of the night. The quick serve at Primo Piatto ended up being $73.18. Sarah got a margarita pizza. I got that bolognese that you talked about. That was pretty good. The girls each had Yurgina had shrimp, which was on the kids menu, which she really liked, and then Yurgina Jr. had the kids cheese pizza, which she also really liked. So I had a couple of those whiskey mules, those canned cocktails that they have.
Yep. Pretty good, aren't they?
They're not bad. They're not bad at all. They're better over ice. I guess I could have asked for a cup with ice, but I just drank them out of the can. $73.18 for that quick serve. Topolino's was $187.92, and the snacks were $34.94. Grand total of $296.04. Now we're getting to the end here. We have the 18th, which is our last night. We had dinner reservation at Trattoria Al Forno at the boardwalk.
Trattoria Al Forno. We will talk an extent in the next few weeks about that place.
We did a divide and conquer that day because Yurgina wanted to go to Disney Springs and Yurgina Jr. wanted to go to the pool. So I took Yurgina to Disney Springs. We were there at opening at 10 o'clock. Ended up getting...
And what was your reasoning for this?
She likes the big Disney store. She's a shopper. She likes shopping. So we went there. She wanted to go to a couple of stores there. You know what? I said, fine, let's do it. So we went there. Ended up having lunch at Polite Pig at Disney Springs.
Ooh. Give us a little tease.
I got a $26 quick serve entree of ribs that came with a side of whiskey caramel Brussels sprouts, which were phenomenal.
Ooh.
Phenomenal.
Ooh.
And a cocktail.
My legs are like jelly right now.
And then she got the kids' meal of smoked turkey with waffle fries, and she loved it. It was a big portion, too. It was very good, smoked turkey.
Did you try it, or did she eat?
No, I had a couple bites. It was very good.
Was it too smoky, or was it okay?
No, it was just right. I thought it was perfect. The ribs were really good as well. Neither of us even finished it. We brought some back, but we ended up not eating it because that was our last night and we didn't have time.
Did you leave it outside the room?
Yeah, with the note on Facebook for Ken Cabot. Checking out today. I have a partially eaten rack of ribs.
You got teeth marks in one of those bad boys.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Half open bag of Cool Ranch Doritos and some partially eaten ribs outside of room 244 at the beach club if you want it.
oh God.
So that one adult and one kid quick serve at the Polite Pig was $54. And then
I like hearing that. That's nice. That's like 108 if you multiply that by 2, right, Parts?
yeah, and that wasn't even the most expensive entree. They have like a cedar plank salmon at Polite Pig. That's like $29. That's a
A
quick
quick service?
Yeah,
This is insane, isn't it?
and they have real utensils, real plates,
Gonna catch it, baby.
and they had like a ton of servers. We were there pretty early. It was like 11:15, so they had just opened.
Uh-huh.
But we had like 5 different people come up to us like, "Oh, can I refill your ice water for you? Do you need any more sauces? Do you need any more napkin?" Like the service there was phenomenal. I actually bought a T-shirt from there on the way out because I liked the design and I was impressed with the place. It was run well. So yeah, $54 for those. Sarah took Yergina Jr. to Hurricane Hannah's again. We had a lot of quick serves there. They had a couple burgers, an adult bacon cheeseburger and a kid's burger.
Okay.
2406 for those 2 credits. That's not a great use of credits there, is it?
You didn't scold them though, did you?
Oh, I told Sarah, I said, "You didn't even get a cocktail to bring back to me?" She said, "No, I didn't." I said, "All right, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah, that's
Not a lot you could do at that point.
weak. But you know what? You're on day 10 and you're
Yeah.
at the point where you just all hate each other. So you got to just put that, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
leave
No,
it alone.
I asked if she got a drink. I said, "Did you get like a smoothie for yourself?" And she said,
Oh,
"No, they
okay.
didn't ask me." I said, "Oh, they should have. You're supposed to
Yeah.
get one." So
Yeah, you could beat her down for not getting you a rum and coke on day 1, but at day 10, you got to
yeah,
leave it
day
alone.
9, yeah.
You know what this is doing to my spreadsheet?
Yeah. So that was 2406. Snacks again. I don't even know what we had for snacks that day, so I didn't put anything in. Trattoria El Forno ended up being $68 for what I got with dessert, cocktail, and an entree. Sarah's was $56 for dessert, cocktail, and entree, and the girls were $14.50 each. $163.08 for that dinner after tax. With Polite Pig and Hurricane Hannah's, that day total was $241.14 for day 9, and then day 10 we had
Which is checkout day.
this is our checkout day. We still had 2 table serves, 2 quick serves, and 5 snacks left to use on our last day.
You're getting
So-
you're sweating, aren't you? You're getting the meat sweats right about now.
So at this point, I was resigned to the fact that I was going to have to get breakfast quick serve, which I didn't want to do. But I ended up mobile ordering Beach Club Marketplace, got a couple bounty platters, got a couple Mickey waffles for the kids, some orange juices. And so those the breakfast was $54.80 after tax for the bounty platters and the kids' meals with the orange juice. You know, regular just little 8-ounce thing of orange juice is like $6.
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
That
But
crazy.
but you can get it with your meal. So I ended up getting that. We did use all of our snacks as we were leaving. We grabbed like the bagged treats that they have
Yeah.
to bring on the plane. The girls got some like gummy worms. I got like not Chex Mix, but like trail mix, like the Cajun trail mix, and Sarah got like a dried fruit mix. So we ended up using those 4, and we got some maple popcorn in Canada that we had as well for our last 5 snacks. So the snacks ended up being $37.26, and the piece de resistance on our last day for lunch we had Le Chef de France,
Oh, yeah.
which, by the way, I'm happy to report that
Yes,
the
please.
prefix does qualify for 1 dining plan credit.
Is that a golf shot or what?
And I'm also happy to report, at least with my waiter, he said not only can you get the prefix, but because you have the dining plan, you can order any cocktail on the menu, not just the ones that are like in the prefix.
Like the glass of wine or beer.
Right. So I ended up
That's
getting
the
a
part that's included in the prefix. That's good
right.
information right there. Yes.
He said you could get any signature cocktail, which I wasn't really planning on drinking that last day, so I ended up just having a beer with it. But I got the French onion soup. So we both did that. Sarah and I both did that because she wanted to try that goat cheese salad. So those prefix were $65.95.
So good. So good. Tell me, I can't wait. What'd you have for the entree?
We split the salmon and the macaroni and cheese.
Oh, how bad is that?
The macaroni and cheese they give you like a pound of macaroni. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's what I mean.
Like we
Don't get me
must
going
have
on
thrown
this.
away half of it. We couldn't eat it
I
all.
meant bad, like as in badass, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's just I love
And the
that place.
salmon was phenomenal. So I wasn't that hungry. I didn't want something super heavy because we were walking around. We didn't have a room to go back to at that point. So I was like really nervous about the beef bourguignon, which you recommended.
It's the best. It's so good there. It's
And
so good.
he said it was really good, but
It's
plus we had
unbelievable.
dessert, like heavy desserts. I was happy with what we got, except I will say the French onion soup was disappointing.
Really?
I had French onion soup, which I paid out of pocket at Steakhouse 71, and that was as good as I remembered. And then this one just didn't live up to it. Just like I
Oh,
didn't
that's
even eat it all. I
unfortunate.
left like
That's
half of it.
unfortunate to hear.
Yeah.
I've
Still,
never
though,
had any problems there.
it wasn't like it. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't as good as the other one, and I just was kind of like, eh. It was just
okay.
just something about it didn't hit me right.
I mean, you and I are French onion soup connoisseurs, so
I really
I
like French
trust
onion
your
soup, yeah.
judgment on this.
I'd like to hear your opinion of it if you try it again soon.
You know, it's almost like I have to do a Steakhouse 71 and Le Chef's de France.
And maybe Shula's.
Like to compare and contrast. Yeah.
Like 3 onion soups in one day and see which one's the best.
Oh, that wouldn't be a bad vlog, would it?
You could probably time it out really well. Like you go over to Steakhouse 71 for lunch, get that, do like 4 o'clock at Chef's, and then like go over to
Yeah,
Rope
but
Drop
are they gonna
Shula's
see
for lunch.
they can't be seated and get a $5 bowl of soup.
At Chef's, I'd make that be your meal. Then you could just go to the bar and get soup at Shula's.
Yeah, I guess. I'd have to
Either way.
grease those people though. I'd feel like a real jerk, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. So regardless, our chef's lunch ended up being $170.42. So $65.95 each for the adults, $12.95 each for the kids. They got cheeseburgers. He let them get desserts also off the kids menu, which is not usually included in the regular dining plan. At all the Disney-owned restaurants, the kids get 2 sides with their meal, and a lot of times one of the side options is a dessert. But they always wanted to get like French fries and something else, so we would just share our desserts with them.
Okay.
Obviously, the buffets and the family style all have the desserts all included, but the couple
Right.
sit downs we went to, they didn't order dessert. We just shared the desserts with them. But at Chef's, he had them order desserts, which would have been another $6 or $7. I didn't include that in the price breakdown because I don't think it should have been included. I think he was just being nice. So it was $170.42. Our beach club marketplace breakfast was $54.80, and our snacks for that day were $37.26 for a grand total of $262.48. And like I said, I had 8 snacks unaccounted for. Conservatively, I just averaged them at $5.50 a piece.
That's what I was gonna say. 5 change. Yep.
So that would have been $47.52 after tax for those 8 snacks. For a grand total, if I paid out of pocket, it would have been $2,929.94 for a quote unquote savings of almost $700, $698.48
Is what
I saved by using the dining plan. I paid $2231.46. I would have paid out of pocket $2929.94. $698.48 would have been the difference. Like I said, you could probably take the mugs out. So if you want to take $200 out of that,
and how many nights was this? This was 10 days, right?
9 nights. So yeah, I had to pay 9. It was $247.94 each night. So 247.94 times 9 was 2231.46. 36 snacks, 18 adult meals, 18 kids meals, quick service and table service, and 8 mugs. So let's say we take away the extra 4 mugs, that's another $100. So I'm really at 28, so maybe about a $600 savings instead of a $700 savings. Obviously, some of the snacks maybe we wouldn't have done, but
Right.
and I may not have ordered as many cocktails if I was
Correct.
paying out of pocket, but I was trying to take advantage of it. I still think, like, if I had even done conservatively, I think I would have broke even.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It ended up being a good value for us. What about you? How'd your math come out?
So we did the refillable mugs, obviously, 46.84 for the 2 refillable mugs. We did Primo Piatto quick service.
Yep.
She always gets a chicken sandwich, which is to die for, and I got the beef bourguignon. We both got a cocktail that came out to 53.23.
Okay.
I'll just go in order of quick service,
Yeah.
and then the second quick service we did was La Cantina.
Oh, okay. Similar to us.
Yep. So I did the barbacoa tacos that comes with the refried beans and the rice, dirty
I had
rice.
that. Yep.
And she did the combo, the one that comes with the chicken, the beef, and the barbacoa.
Okay. Yep.
And we both got like this frosty drink that was really good. And I'll tell you what, I drink a lot of beer, and this thing started hitting me. And Kristen even said, she's like, I feel pretty good. She's like, these drinks are pretty strong.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
don't know if you felt the same thing, but you always hear how Disney has a weak pour, but every cocktail I had there was pretty stiff.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, especially like the handmade ones. That yours is probably the pre-mix.
Yeah, it was,
frozen
yeah.
margarita, right? Yeah, those were pretty good. I had 2 of them with lunch that day, so I was doing okay that day.
For the sit downs, we did Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, 132.06.
Mm-hmm.
Topolino's Terrace was 137.39. And then all of our snacks came from Primo Piatto.
all 4.
Yeah, so we did one at 691, and then we did 3 that totaled 1690.
Okay.
Same situation as you. We had 3 left over. And we stopped over there, and I'm like, because they had a banana bread that looked absolutely amazing. I love banana bread, and it had chocolate chips.
Oh, nice.
And she got a tiramisu and something else. So the snacks there are fantastic between Primo Piatto and the coffee bar upstairs.
Right. That's right.
So anyways, we came out to 486.33 out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And we paid $377. So yeah, we saved $110.
That's pretty good.
So yeah,
And-
so if you average what the 110 divided $55 a day times 10 would have come out to 550, 600.
Yeah,
So
that's
pretty
what I
much on par as where you guys were.
Right. And again, same situation. You wouldn't have bought mugs because you had mugs from Vero that would have still
From
worked.
Vero. So we wouldn't have bought mugs. And typically I will buy a mug even if we're just up for a weekend, but we'll just buy one.
Right.
But it was nice having 2 because we just fill up like our lemonades and go walk around, do like the loop by the Yacht Club Beach Club. So it was nice not having to split a soda and then go back up and get another one. We don't typically do a ton of snacks.
Yeah.
And
you probably
we
wouldn't have
don't,
ordered the cocktails with
we
lunch.
don't she'll have a cocktail at dinner or like going to Abacadabra, but I'm not a day drinker. So I guess the question is, I'll ask you, is it worth it?
It was this year, and it won't be anymore because Yergina's going to be an adult the next time. So I'm not going to pay another $60 per night for it and have the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
Because even if she orders adult meals, like, she's not going to eat all that. You know what I mean?
Right.
She can't order alcohol. She wouldn't even be able to order it for me, even though she's technically an adult. I mean, maybe some waiters might let you, but some might not. But I'm not going to have 3 cocktails at every meal. You know what I mean?
At every setting. Right.
Like, that's two's more than enough. Especially if you have something here or there, you get a beer while you're in the room or at the pool. Like,
Right.
you don't want to get too sloppy. When I was at Steakhouse 71, I had been drinking a little bit, like at the pool, and then we went to the Contemporary. We were there early, and I went to
That's
Outer
right. You
Rim,
told me. Yeah, you guys went to the Outer Rim.
and I got a cocktail there. Oh, I think I used a snack for her Virgin Pina Colada there. That was one of the snacks unaccounted for. So
Okay.
whatever that ended up being. Yeah, so I got like a cocktail there, and that guy made it real strong at the Outer Rim. And then they brought me the wrong cocktail at
That's
Steakhouse
right. Yeah,
71.
that's right. You posted that on our social media.
So I ended up having 3 cocktails with dinner, one before, so I was feeling pretty good that night.
Yeah, you're pretty lit.
The Steakhouse 71. So yeah, if I was getting 3 cocktails at every meal, that would be a problem eventually.
Yeah, stiff cocktails. Not like you're pounding a few
Right.
beers by the pool. So you're having to cut 3 stiff cocktails in an hour 15-minute time
And
frame.
even like the quick serves, if you get a beer, they're the 16 ounces. They're not 12
Yeah,
ounce.
they're
beers.
right. Correct.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So if
Yeah.
I got 3 beers, then all of a sudden that's really 4 12, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was a one-time thing because with Yurgina turning 10 at the end of this year,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's going to make sense to buy her an adult dining plan.
Yeah, I think, for us, we kind of fly by the seat of our pants. If let's go get a
Yeah.
charcuterie or, let's go get this. So we don't have our meals planned up like a family of 4 might.
Right. It
Like
made
we
sense
typically at certain time frames, and
because you were eating with us at Topolino.
because I was
and
eating
Rodeo.
with you guys.
So you knew you were going to get good
nice
value
to
at
have the
those.
convenience. It was nice to have all the stuff prepaid. Really was.
Yeah, I like that part of it. And not to mention, you try the cocktails that maybe you wouldn't try. Like you would have never tried that peanut butter and jelly cocktail at Rodeo
No,
Roundup,
I wouldn't have.
which you ended up getting. And, and that's the thing. And then if you don't even like it that much, you don't feel that guilty because it's like, all right, well,
Right.
whatever, it was included with it. So it helps with that. And, we did a lot of buffets and family style. So it wasn't even like you feel like you had to order the most expensive thing. I like steak anyway, so I ordered steak at the places where it was on the menu,
Yeah.
like Trattoria, and Steakhouse 71, obviously. So we'll talk about that more when I do a dining review. But
I
the
honestly
dining-
think though, if we even looked at backing out all of your drinks, I think you're still coming out ahead because I don't think you drank $700 worth.
No, probably not, but it's probably more than you think because their cocktails are 16,
Yeah, they
17
are.
bucks a piece. So if you
But I
take
think-
out 4 of those a day, that's $68 times 9. That's almost the whole cost of it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think it's a good deal. And I think it's set up for you to be a little ahead of the game.
Slightly. If you drink, if you don't drink, it's not worth it. I'll say right out. And also, if you can really get ahead for the out of pocket if you're doing buffets with the kids, character buffets that are single
Yeah.
credit. Like that Garden Grill would have been $255 out of pocket for that meal. $40 for kids. Like that's more than their whole day's dining plan cost. It only costs $29 for their whole day, and you're paying $40 just for that
Right.
meal.
Yep.
So if you're planning on doing a lot of character meals, then yeah, get the dining plan. If you have kids in that age, you're going to come out ahead. If you're doing regular sit downs, you're not, because even like Steakhouse 71, which is a pretty nice single credit, was only what I say 155 with cocktails. So yeah, 159. So you're not really coming out that far ahead because their entrees are only $15 there. The kids. And then their quick serves are usually $8 or $9 a
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
So if you're not a drinker and you want to do regular sit downs, you're probably gonna at best break even. But yeah, if you want to have like the fancy cocktails at every place you go to, then it's worth it. Or the character.
Yeah, because from what I saw, I think you get a great value with the quick services.
If you like to drink, like if you go to the
Yeah.
right ones too, like the Docking Bay 7, I got $16 cocktails with it, and they were like $18 entrees. If you go to Casey's Corner where they don't serve alcohol
Sure.
and you get a $9.99 corn dog, yeah, it's not really a great
Right.
use of a credit. So it really depends on what you like. I mean, if you're spending a lot of time in Epcot and you do Cantina de San Janel, Katsura Grill, they have some cocktails there you could get, and those quick serves are expensive. Like the ramen bowl is like $15-$16, I think. Like we
Mhm.
said, Regal Eagle is decently expensive. Satuli Canteen, that Polite Pig is killer. You can make
Yeah,
a
and
lot of
I
money going there.
probably have to go up there and review it for crying out loud.
Well, get the dining plan if you do, because paying out of pocket's going to hurt you there.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I think it worked out good. I wanted to make sure I knew it was going to based on just the reservations we had with the amount of character and family style / buffets that we had.
Yep.
I knew ahead of time that I was at worst going to break even if I didn't drink. So, and then it ended up being good, and we had more than enough snacks. Like with that amount of food, if you're doing like buffets, one, if you have a buffet at night, you don't want to eat too much during the day. Or if you do like the breakfast buffet, you're full. Like Topolino's, I was full until like 4 or 5
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Like I was not interested in eating anything. I had that like Dole Whip Sunday at Animal Kingdom at like 1:30. And even then I was like, I don't need to eat this. I just wanted to try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you get a lot of food at those family style places for sure.
And I think before we wrap up too, I do like having a snack option because we don't typically, like she was reading that there's some places where you can get 2 scoops of ice cream
Yeah.
as a snack credit. So we don't typically, she might want to get a tiramisu if we're at Riviera, but I never get snacks. And to have that banana bread and certain things that I might not necessarily try, I think was worth it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point as well. So, yeah, it worked out. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
It was good. We went to places that if we were paying out of pocket, we wouldn't have done 5 character meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
might have done 1. We would have done a lot more quick serves. I wouldn't have been drinking as much.
Yep.
So it all works out. Ends up being good. So I'm happy we did it. It was fun. That was a good big trip. It was like our big shebang trip. 9 days. That's the longest trip we've ever taken with the kids. So it was
And
all.
everybody's still alive from what I understand,
And
right?
actually, the end of it was like. I feel like the last 3 or 4 days were way more chill than the
Oh,
first.
during the middle was when you guys were all fighting?
It was really the beginning. I don't know if we just didn't get caught up on sleep enough until like we switched
Okay.
over to Beach Club and we're more laid back. Maybe I don't know. We'll talk about
That's
that
a
more.
that's a long time to be in the studio, parts.
They get smaller every time you get back in there, doesn't it?
Solitary confinement.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, I think we should probably wrap it up. What's going on over on our YouTube page, part?
I've got some stuff I'm working on. We'll start doing the uploads. I'm all done. My vacation mode is over.
All right, back to work.
Yeah, it's back to work.
There we go. So youtube.com/@WDWBTG. Check us out over there. All our socials at WDWBTG. You can find us WDWBTG.com. Facebook group is WDW Beyond the Gates Podcast Family. Subscribe wherever you download podcasts. You can email the show in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
I was going to say info@WDWBTG.com, Mike at WDWBTG.com, and Gary at WDWBTG.com. What were you going to add?
And we've got our Addicted to DVC show coming out.
Okay. Addicted to DVC will be coming out in the next few weeks.
In the next week, probably. We're going to drop them on Mondays.
Okay. Perfect.
On the same feed. So start looking for it.
Keep an eye out. All right. That's going to do it for episode number 538 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. For my co-host, Mike, My name is Gary. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C
See you real soon.
K-E-Y.
Why? Because we like you.